What's up, guys? It's your man Vinny Chase. Welcome back to the channel, and we are off to spend our day at one of the coffee farms here in Antioquia. Okay, but before we get there, we're actually going to stop off at one of the ranches and have a little lunch off in El Centro. Okay, now today might be a little weird, but let's go ahead and grab our stuff and get on the bus.
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
Vincent Chase. Brand name recognition.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
So again, we have a new trip leader, but we do have one of our missing travel mates that has joined back with the group. And we also got word that our original trip leader will be joining us later in the day. But as we pull up to the ranch, to kind of, get in and pet the animals and just kind of cool out or whatever, as a collective, we are overanalyzing any of the trip leaders' encounters with old girl from the last few days. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out if we missed something or, if that was a real possibility. You know what I mean? So things are a little weird this morning. But as we're just hanging out and cooling out, man, like the ranch is really nice. They got all kinds of animals in here, cows, bulls, sheep, goats. They got llamas and alpacas just walking around free roam, and that makes me a little nervous because you don't know how animals think. And I've been bit by dogs, chased by geese, all kinds of stuff. So I got my eyes on the alpacas, okay? But as we wrap up here at the ranch, we're gonna head on into El Centro and have a little lunch before we head over to the coffee farm. So there was like a little lunch plaza or whatever down there that we stopped at. And we kind of walked around for a little bit. I saw a protest that was going on down there. And we ran across some guys that were, jumping bikes or whatever. And, I was going to videotape them to get some cool clips, but dog, they was falling and all kinds of stuff. Oh, let me get up out your way. So it was best I just leave them alone and we could just move on to the coffee farm. But we pull up to the coffee farm, man, and now, as you can see outside, it's starting to do that forever spring thing where it's starting to rain in the middle of the day type thing, So everything is smelling really fresh and like clean out here up in the mountains. So they walk us into this little picnic area or whatever, sit us down and get us some nice hot, fresh cups of coffee here. And like, you can smell it. Like it's strong. You can really smell it. Now they say they don't want you to add any sweeteners to it. If you want some sweetness with the coffee, then that's why they want you to eat the cake, okay? So you eat the cake with the coffee to add the sweetness to it. That's what they want you to do there. They want you to taste the actual flavor of the coffee. I don't really drink my coffee like that. You might call me a little crazy, but my shit look more like chocolate milk when I get done adding all the cream to my coffee. So as we finish off the coffee, we kind of get ready for our tour of the coffee grounds, okay? And we pass by one of the little donkeys, and she explains to us that each sack that you see on the donkey's back is 1.25 kilos of coffee beans, okay? So that's a lot of little coffee beans on the back of that donkey. There's some strong little animals, man. But anyway, we're walking up through the hill, and we come up to a stop for a second, and she tells us that there's like 17,000 meters that they've planted this coffee on, that they grow it. And apparently it's 5% of the coffee in the world, which I'm gonna be honest with you, that math ain't really mathing to me, but it's her story, so I'm gonna let her tell it, okay? And it feels like we are deep in the jungle, man. Like it's fresh air. I mean, like I've never breathed air like this before. Breathed? Yeah. I've never breathed air like this before. It is so crispy here. And like the rain like that's coming down just has everything just, I don't know, it smells so nice. And like, when you go to pick out a candle and they say like pine wood forest or jungle breeze or something like that, that's what it really be smelling like. It's crazy. So we come up to this little station where he has some little beans that we can, try straight out of the plant. And, we're supposed to crack it out the shell and we can just eat them raw or whatever. They didn't really taste like anything, but, it was cool to do that, Now, next, we had the opportunity to plant our own coffee tree, okay?
You have to make a hole of 30 centimeters.
Sure, like around or deep?
¿Alrededor o para el fondo?
Around? Okay.
Y la tierra que saque la ponía al lado.
And the sand, you have to put it right next to you.
Nice, Vinny.
Anybody else want some?
Uno más.
Want to get some of this?
One more.
But he's like, all right, that's enough manual labor for me.
It's okay, it's okay.
It's okay like that.
Está bien.
Okay.
Now the next one. Who is going? A otra persona, no.
Now, this was kind of funny because earlier in the trip, yesterday when we first arrived at Medellín, our original group leader had, called us Bonche or something like that. And we thought that was a cool little name for our group, like our little bunch, like my Bonches.
Bonche is when you fight with, like, it's an expression, but when there is a bonche somewhere, it's like people start fighting.
He
said, like, in Spanish, bonche
means fighting.
Man, we were under the impression that Bonche meant forever friends. Like our crew was going to be together for a long while and build long-lasting friendships. That's what we were after. Not something that said we wanted to have a fight. What a mess that turned out to be. But we moved on from planting our little coffee tree over to the germination station to kind of check out how they get the plants up started from seeds into, moving into the next stage to being planted. And they got a lot more going on here than just coffee. Okay, like they've got plantains, they've got beehives, and they've got even some other exotic fruits that we got a moment to pick and sample. And let me tell you, all of them are not delicious. Some are very tart and bitter. But we moved on to the next station, which was kind of like the fermentation area. And when I tell you that your senses would just light up as soon as you walked over there, because it smelled like the richest chocolate that you would ever smell in your life. And, obviously it's not chocolate, but man, it smelled really, really good. So before we got out of there, he moved us over to the room where they do like the peeling or whatnot, and finished us out with a nice sample of a fruit cocktail. Now, our day continues on. Like, we go to Guatape and over to Ep.10, but let's just take a pause right here and let me get back to you in the next episode, okay? Peace.